Hello and Ave. Welcome to the beginning of my Linux journey. Let's just say this one's been very, very difficult to get going. Going from Windows to Linux has been an eye-opener. I'll give it that much. For me, it's been very, 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 very difficult. As anybody who knows me would know that I've come from Windows. I'm a staunch Windows advocate. I have been for the last 30 odd years since Windows first came out with Windows. I think I remember back to Windows NT. Yeah. I remember 95, 98, 2000, XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, never touched that one. 10, which I'm currently was on, still have got it installed, but it's getting ready to be converted away from. This system will be converted away from Windows to Linux. And as you can see by the background I've got, we have Bazzite. As I was saying about me being a staunch Windows defender for such a long time, this is literally my first ever jaunt into Linux. When I was younger, I used to think, oh, Linux is not going to do anything, it's going to be boring, it's going to be so indifferent to what I have used. I've used, hell, I even remember the old BBC computers, that's how far back I go. With their big floppy disks and the big drives you had to try and get them into without flopping them too much. And yes, that does sound rather risque. But when I first heard about Linux back in the day, I scoffed and laughed at it and I went, it's just never going to be good enough as Windows. And I've been like that for my entire life. Roll on 30 odd years, 25, 30 years, something like that. Steam Deck came out about 4 or 5 years ago. I think I've had it that long. I've got a Steam Deck. The Gen 2, I think it is. Not the first, not when it first released, but the second version. And literally, I saw the potential of the Steam Deck just having my Steam library in front of me to play wherever I wanted. I thought that was brilliant. I don't think that picked up my hand hitting the boom arm. No, it did not. Cool. Sorry, I've just been spending the last hour trying to set up all my audio in OBS. I've still got to get the stream inside of it set back up. Recording, I think, is now back to a point where I am ready. But as you can see by my display of games, I've kind of tried to get stuff working. So, as I was saying about Linux in general, I scoffed and said, nah, it'll never be as good as Windows. Windows will be the king forever. How wrong I was. And I'm completely admitting that I am wrong. I have been converted. I'm still learning how to run Linux in general. Windows I've more or less got on there. I've never been a programmer in my life, so don't even ask me any questions. I've had to literally watch videos, learn as I'm going along. To even get to the first point of actually installing Bazzite, I literally had to I had to install Bazzite 5 times before I finally got it right. And this is dual booted as well with Windows still. Windows will be coming out of here, and this will just be primarily a Linux machine. This is how much faith I'm putting in this system. Alright, the screen's not really doing much, but yes, I am actually moving my mouse around the screen, and if you do this too many times, that mouse gets bigger. I think that's quite a little funny little quirk, don't you? Windows doesn't do that. See, I can't even say it properly. But I have rambled on for long enough. Let's just let me clarify. I did used to scoff at Linux. And let me reiterate again how wrong I am and was. I don't know why. But these are some of my games I have literally loaded up and literally tested. Some of these you've even seen on stream. You've got No Man's Sky here. You've got Scorn that I recently played for the channel. Oblivion, I have no idea what the hell happened there. On Windows, I would literally load into Oblivion, as you saw when I streamed it last. And the main menu was very, very choppy. And yes, this is the OST for Replaced. I'm going to turn it down slightly because it is slightly peeking into the orange a little bit. So yes, as you can see, I'm still working out the settings for my audio. Hell, I even had choppy audio at one point. But let us dive into some of these games that I know have been slow on Windows. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop the Replace soundtrack, as much as I love that. Absolutely adore that soundtrack. So we've gone quiet now. Right. Oblivion Remastered. If people have watched my stream for that, it kind of ended up getting very stuttery on the main menu. Now, I haven't done much to change this, but what you're going to see now is the change of what I'm seeing. This is using the Vulkan shaders and the Proton overlay. And this is just going to the menu. Alright, I have lost my previous 2 characters, so I'm not problematic with that at all. What in the actual frelling hell did Windows do to this? I could not fix the flame around the playable character on the arch. I could not fix it. I spent months trying to stop that from stuttering. And I just could not stop it. And yet there it is, in all its glory. What in the frelling hell did Linux, Proton and the Vulkan shaders do to make this thing work? What the hell? I do not understand. What the hell happened since launch of this game? I wanted to come back and stream this game, yet every time I looked at the icon, I remembered it was stuttering. So I sat down a couple of months ago and tried to fix it. It did not fix. And to this day, I tried it up. I started it up the other day, and it still stuttered. Right, you heard a little bit of it, the stutter there, but that's the first one I've actually heard. If I continue, this is a new character I've played. Now I do know the loading for the game was stupidly slow. And yet here we are in game with my character, Relsa. I thought I'd keep with the, you know, the idea of this, but the only bit I had to change a few of the settings, but in game, but it's buttery smooth. Buttery damn smooth. Why is Linux and the Proton overlay and the Vulkan shaders working better than Windows? If anybody can please answer me this, I would be eternally grateful. The light shafts look pretty good. I may have tweaked the light a little bit too much, but if I can get maybe not reshade or something like that, maybe. And no, actually, I think it looks all right like this. I haven't really gotten out of the catacombs yet, but I've yet to. As I say, this is not even out. This is me. I'm still in the Imperial prison. I haven't even got that far. But this is just one game. It took the loading at least 3 minutes on Windows to get where I needed to get to in game. And yet, as you just saw there, I was in game within seconds. Now, I cannot answer why. And look at that, closed down instantaneously within seconds. And yes, I did buy Rise of the Cones. If anybody was wondering, I never did start playing that. But we're going to have a little look at a few of my games here. Sorry if you did hear that. I hope you didn't, but that was me bonking the microphone. But this is me showing you what these games are actually looking like right now. And my controller works as well. It works. We're just going to continue where I left off quickly. That was on stream. That was. We got into the. I'm not going to do anything on that. I'm just going to show you what it was like. There is only one card. Wolf successfully drew most of the attention to himself. Yes. As you can see, buttery smooth. I have no idea what the hell. I have no idea. I don't understand what the hell Windows is doing. Like, as much as I'd love to continue playing that, but we're not here for that. This is how Linux has literally changed me. Is it? Oh, it doesn't make a sound. Boo. Right, so what one should we load up next? No Man's Sky. Right, No Man's Sky. As you've seen in my previous streams, the game would take between 3 to 5 minutes to load up into game. We are going to load it now. I tested this the other day. To say I was surprised about the results is an understatement. All right, so a little bit of a slow down there. In game within seconds. What was that, 15, 20 seconds? We're just going to go on to my Polestar character. A little bit of lag, but tiny bit. Is that my ship I hear? What the hell is this? What is this? I am literally in game. I'm running around my capital vessel. What was that? I think that was about 20 to 30 seconds. It used to take on Windows 3 to 5 minutes. I had to be actually in game before I even started streaming. What in the... So if I go down here, some of these are ships I've actually looted. Especially there is this one here, which is the Sentinel one, which you can get. A Golden Vector over there. But what in the actual hell? I've got a place for my Corvette there. I think I've got 2 Corvettes actually. I've got to remember how to get out of the Corvette now. Oh, no, that's not it. I've literally got myself lost now. Oh, no, I haven't. No, I tell a lie. This is... I cannot believe... Right, now this is my ship. If you've seen it before, it's called the Flight of the Navigator. Bit of a beast. I was actually quite proud. Can I get into the photo? I forgot how to get into photo mode. There is a way. Options. That's that. But this is basically the Flight of the Navigator. And I love the way I built this thing. Yes, there are actually merging in this ship, but you've seen how quickly I can get into my game, into this ship. This, I don't understand. Understand how this runs 20 to 30 times better on Linux than it does on Windows. We're not actually going to do any more on that, and we're not even going to save the game. Because what we're going to do, I suppose that has autosave switched onto it. So that's 2 games that I knew were beasts. And they didn't like being played properly. Now, here's the contentious fellow, Starfield. we're not going to go very much further into what games we have. So I'm going to get... I've still got to get my Stream Deck operational, and that's taken a little while to get done. There's programs, some of my lights don't want to work on my case, using the NZXT fans and the options for that. If any of you Linux people out there know what to use to change the lights best, I've got OpenRGB and I've got the color cooler. I've got those two running, but they're both kind of conflicting with each other, and I can't properly get all of it working properly. But I have been able to get my save game for Captain Tracy from Windows and port it over. Could never find my Oblivion remaster. Don't know why. But you watch this, right? This is me just getting into my latest game. Alright, there's a tiny bit of a... That's what, 10... $20 seconds? $20 to get in. Now, I am in the middle of a mission here, but I'm not going to tell you what the mission is. This is where I got to last night. But that was, what, 30 seconds to get in game? 30 seconds. Approximately. 30 to 40 seconds. If anybody can please answer me, what the hell did Microsoft and Windows do? Because I know my Starfield used to take on Windows a bit of time to even get up to a certain point, to even get to the main menu, and then into Starfield game as well. Don't tell anybody who this weapon or this armor is from. Don't tell anybody. I don't want anybody to know. They have to find it themselves. But this is ridiculous. And this is how wrong. I haven't even gotten to Skyrim or Fallout 4 yet. And yes, you did see 2 Transformers games on my desktop. Hell, I even tested them. I got a slight problem with Metroid 2033 though. It is defaulting to my second monitor, which is slightly smaller and does not have HDR. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem, because I know Metroid 2039 is coming out, and I want to play the originals for the channel. The Reduxes, of course, not the originals. I've got them. I didn't even have to pay for the Redux, they were just given out. Yeah, this is just me getting into my character here. This is ridiculous. I don't understand why. Let's just get right. I'm hoping Arkham Knight is alright to load. I think it should be. But this is a game I have actually completed once. Not long after it launched. Didn't actually take me that long, about 50 odd hours. But let's load up Arkham Knight. And I actually loaded up into my old save. This is just what I'm testing. That audio stammering has always been there on every single Batman game I know of. I'm not sure why it's there, but it's always been there. But it does work. Everything works. That bit's... Warner Brother Games bit has always been really, really jumpy. This bit here, the logos. Yes, Rocksteady. How far they've fallen with their last Suicide Squad game. Yep, whatever. Get past that. is unbelievable. How far it's actually gone. I'm in game. I cannot believe how quick. Now if I go just load into the game generally. Let's see how quick. What's that? 5 10 seconds? 10 seconds.
Soldiers, bombs, tear gas clouds, tanks absolutely freaking everywhere. Crazy poison ivy pollen, not to mention the bat driving around in his personal war machine all night. Next time there's an evacuation, I'm getting on the bus.
I realised that I actually had audio that synced around the land, because I've never used headphones with this game. But yes, this is Batman Arkham Knight. And yes, I have.
Harley found Batman's secret base. He's smarter than everybody thought. So where is it? How should I know? Those boys were hightailing it out of here. Batman kicked all their asses. But still, at least she found him.
I mean, I don't understand how.
Keep solving those riddles, Detective. I won't allow myself the pleasure of crushing you beneath my giant metal foot until you do.
Thank you, Riddler. Spoiler, sorry. But yeah, this is unbelievable. What Linux? I can go on through a whole load more of my games catalog, and this is what I'm going to be doing.
Anything about religion? I was always told to make the sign of the cross after I whack someone, you know, out of respect. Just asking.
As I was saying, you basically, I don't actually understand, as I keep saying, why Microsoft went down this road. There is no bloat. Game in instantly.
What did Scarecrow do? Oh, that stuff was nasty.
This is unbelievable. How... Right, so let's just come up. Let's exit this for a minute and let's go back to... Let's go back down here and bring that up and... bring that back up. So... that's just a few of my games. Cyberpunk I haven't even properly tested yet. I've loaded it up, but I haven't fully put it through its paces yet. God of War I've tested. It runs well. Yes, I do have Darkest Dungeon. Funny enough, I like it. I have both. I haven't tried number 2 yet. That's beside the point. Monster Hunter, I've tried all 3 of them. They work perfectly. I don't understand where Microsoft went wrong. And it's not me bashing Microsoft, they're a good company. But decisions they've made, from what I can make out recently, is push everything to everyone, and you have to get everything on their line of thinking. It's bad when there are multiple Linux OSs out there that basically show that this is where my frustration comes in. As I said before, I was a staunch defender of Windows. I thought Linux was crap and shoddy this is where I was for so many years. It takes being woken up by something like this. And by the way, I was never going to upgrade to Windows 11. I was being forced to do something, and like my old man, I don't like being forced to do something. You ask me to do something, yes, but don't keep telling me, slapping it in my face going, you ready to upgrade yet? You upgrading yet? No, you ain't upgraded yet. It's like in your face. It's like, no. I've always been like that. If you ask me nicely, then maybe. Windows 10 never failed me. But then it did. And then when I played on the Steam Deck, I enjoy playing on the Steam Deck. And I found it was so much more enjoyable to load up the games and everything. Hell, I even loaded up Half-Life, the original Half-Life game, on my Steam Deck. I only did the beginning section of it, but it was quick, it was fun. But I don't understand how it got this bad in the world we live in. Windows is lost. And I'm not being disrespectful to Microsoft or Windows, but if I, a person who didn't know anything about computing 20 years ago, hell, I even tried to put in a new graphics card 20 years ago and found out afterwards that it was not compatible, the early graphics card, into a Windows 98 machine. Yeah, I tried that. I failed. Because it didn't work. It set my computer into a blue screen of death. And once I took it out, it was because the memory wasn't compatible with the graphics card. Yeah, stupid old me. Figure it out the hard way. But I am digressing. I have gone on long enough. I am in a better place with Linux right now. It has got my respect and its due worth. I just have to get my stream settings done now. That's taken a little bit longer to get sorted. And the conversion of discs, I'm taking them off the games I've reformatting them to Linux based, and then I will disconnect the Windows, and this will be primarily a Linux based system. No more for dual booting. Hell, I've even just today installed DaVinci Resolve. I've got to get that set up and ready to go. But yeah. Linux, Bazzite, Zorin, Mint, KCOS. I think there are other ones that are just as good. I wish you all the success that you can even muster. But
this tiny flame makes me feel like home. We're not.
But I think that unless Windows pulls something out of its collective ass, it will be the end of it. Because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be Linux and Windows either side of each other across the fighting line. And at at this moment in time, Linux wins. I am happy with where I am on this system. What this system can do now. It feels snappy. Useful again. Whereas before I'd load up programs and games and it would fight me for control. I've rambled on long enough. I'm a convert to Linux right now, and I don't think I'm going to be going back to Windows for quite some time. I'm hoping to do all further recordings and streams off of this Linux system. No ifs or buts. Who would have thought this was that easy? I never thought it. You can't see me, but I'm literally holding my head. And these pauses that you keep hearing are literally me wondering how this even got to this point. But enough of that. I'm going to give you back your free time, and I will bid you adieu and say Ave Aquavale. Hail and farewell. Good luck in your Linux journeys. See you in the next one. Bye bye.